Hey guys, welcome to our swarm. We are very excited to bring you our insights into environmental issues such as global warming and climate change, sustainability, recycling, reducing your carbon footprint, and transitioning to cleaner sources of energy. You'll be able to gain some interesting knowledge on the current health of our planet, what steps we can take to reduce our impact, and exciting new technologies that support this venture into a more sustainable future. So what do we mean by climate change? It's important to take a moment to make sure everyone is clear on the difference between climate change and global warming. Although they're often used interchangeably, it isn't accurate to do so. The majority of climate and environmental scientists understand and agree that the Earth's climate has been changing over many centuries, but the rate of change has been increasing, and the way it is changing means that in the not-too-distant future, the planet will be uninhabitable by human life. Global warming is one of the many symptoms of climate change, but the term climate change also refers to other climatic conditions like sea level rising, droughts, shifts in plant and flower blooming, extreme weather events such as cyclones and hurricanes, and can even be attributed to an increase in earthquakes. Through studies and climate modeling, scientists have been able to link all these worrying climate changes with the rise of carbon-emitting fuels. Modeling for the future has shown that in the next few years we will hit a point where we are unable to reverse the effects of climate change. What is our footprint? Most people think of directly related carbon-based energy, such as your monthly electricity bill or how much fuel goes into your vehicle. But did you know that your carbon footprint extends further? Every time you purchase a product or buy a meal at a restaurant or even call up tech support, you are using energy that contributes to your footprint. In the US, we have one of the highest carbon footprints per capita in the world, over 7 times the sustainable limit. Breaking down the average footprint of an American, the majority comes from the vehicles we drive and household requirements. But the third largest piece of the pie is caused by consuming products and services. Importantly, everyone can take steps to reduce their carbon footprint for all 3 of these. Most of the developed world far exceeds the maximum sustainable carbon footprint and should be leading the way to reduction. Not all energy is created equal. While the end result can be measured and compared, we also need to consider the source and emissions for a full view of the spectrum. The dirtiest of fuels are the ones that take an enormous amount of energy to mine and give off the most harmful emissions. Fossil fuels are considered the dirtiest, with coal as the worst, followed by oil and natural gas considered the least damaging. So if they're dirty, why do we use them? Energy providers are attracted to these due to a lower cost and higher efficiency than other sources. The US is second only to China in the energy produced from fossil fuels. We can class biofuels as a cleaner source than the fossil fuels. These are liquid fuels, which have been produced from animal waste and plant matter, called biomass. The Energy Information Administration tells us that while biodiesel combustion produces fewer sulfur oxides, less particulate matter, less carbon monoxide, and fewer unburned and other hydrocarbons, it does produce more nitrogen oxide than petroleum diesel. So, for the most part, it is cleaner. As the organic plants used to make biofuels grow, they absorb harmful CO2 out of the atmosphere. The US is currently the global leader for the energy produced from biomass and waste. Somewhere in the middle is nuclear energy. While this is considered a clean source of energy due to there being no emissions into the atmosphere, there is the constant risk of plant failure, as with the devastating Chernobyl disaster and the issue of toxic waste disposal that needs to be monitored. The US leads the world in energy produced from nuclear power, supplied from 100 plants. The cleaner energy sources come in the form of wind, wave, geothermal, solar, and hydroelectric. The available energy from these sources to be harnessed are not spread equally around the globe. Hydroelectric has advantages over the other sources, as the stored water from the dams can be switched on relatively quickly to meet demand. Large batteries are used to store the other sources of energy for times when they are unable to harness the sun. The US ranks in the top 5 for all of the renewable energy producing sources. Where possible, we should be looking at reducing our carbon footprint and replacing the carbon with the cleanest sources. Depending on where you live, your utility company may offer renewable sources of energy, or you can take advantage of the current 30% rebate and low-interest financing to install a solar panel system at your home. Taking alternative transport and carpooling will also lower your footprint. We'll discuss some more ways to reduce your carbon footprint in upcoming episodes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope to see you back for some of the easiest ways we can all work together to save our planet. See you next time as we continue our journey into sustainability.